Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have 8 hearings that include 3 different cases of fathers who aren't paying their child support and have been forced to come to criminal court for child abandonment. Rather than simply making regular and consistent payments to the mothers of their children, these fathers would rather come to court to moan and complain about being forced to pay the modest amounts ordered. And they act extremely offended to have been put on child support in the first place, all while doing everything they can to delay getting a proper job. Let's watch and see if the judge can get them to pay.
Okay, if Miss Howard and Mr. Berry can go ahead and turn their cameras on, please. Okay, and Mr. Berry, okay, there you go. Okay, let me have both of you raise your right hands. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yeah.
I do.
Okay. So I am showing that we did get a payment on the 18th of December in the amount of $482. Did you receive that, Ms. Howard?
No, ma'am, not yet.
No?
They said they're supposed to be sending to a card, and I'm supposed to be receiving the card. But the
Okay.
total amount that was I supposed to be receiving was $900. But kind of find out that his first baby mama received my money that
Mhm.
you know,
Okay.
and
If that child is under the age of 18, under no control of Mr. Berry, the money's always automatically split. The child support does not look at any one child as being more important than another. So whenever child support is paid, it is going to get split amongst all of the parents that are under child support orders. So, Miss Arena Camarillo, can you tell me? I just want to make sure that that child is under the age of 18 and that that mother has that entitlement.
It looks like that was explained December 21st to the custodial parent in this case. So I think she understands now that the monies will be split.
Okay.
not really. I still don't understand because basically I have 2 small babies where I have to pay child I got to pay for childcare because CAPS have basically is making us pay childcare now. And then my son has ADHD, so I have to get medication for him. And the $456 is owed to me. I need that money. And he is LOLing me, talking about okay, so now that the course is involved, now you're gonna only gonna get $200. He already know this. So basically, instead of him paying for the child that this his oldest son, because his daughter's 19 now, so his oldest son, instead of paying for him, because he is staying with him. So basically, I'm like, why am I suffering? And I got to pay childcare, and I also have to pay for my son's medication, and it's not. Trust me, it's not inexpensive. So
So
is his
DCSS's position, is going to be that minor children are minor children. And so I'm looking at the ages real quick to see when the other one emancipates. Hold on one second. They might be emancipated. Hold on. Let me see. At this point, hold on one second. I've got that the other case, the 2 kids are emancipated. So one second. The other kids are emancipated.
Okay.
So they have emancipated. So even if they were 17, though, we're always going to treat all 3 the same, except once they've emancipated, it's different. But I want to go back to your case really quickly. I think it sounds like the only thing we're not on the same page about is the amount of money. We show that the amount of money that was sent in is only $482. So that's the amount that we have that's going to go to your case.
So he said he showed me a receipt from his Apple account, not Apple, I'm sorry, his Cash App account that he paid 901.
So we don't have that in our
support.
office.
Well, somebody need to fix that, because if they take
Mr.
the
Berry,
money
that's
from,
going to be you. You'll need to go down to child support
I don't need to
office
do
and
that.
speak with
Okay.
them.
Okay.
Okay,
So you're
and
saying
you,
that, so you're saying that when he supposed to pay the 456, I'm getting the full amount of the 456. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you should from now on, if it's two cases that are open, I show that on the other case, both children have emancipated. So what happens is the first amount, whatever he pays, the first amount will go to you, and then the remainder will split. If he paid more than the amount, if he paid 600 in a month, you get the first 456, the remainder will split and go towards arrears equally for both of you.
For her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
okay, so, and what I typically do in a situation like this is that I'm going to keep you on the calendar one more time just to make sure that your next payment is correct. And Mr. Barry, if you would like to help to facilitate this case being moved along, I'd suggest that you make that trip into child support to make sure that it's being done correctly, because they may not be aware that those older children are already emancipated. So you want to make sure that they know that, so that this is going to be done correctly. Okay, but we have you scheduled for February the 2nd, and hopefully at that point, if everything is correct, then as long as you are making these child support payments now, are you making these payments individually, or are they coming from an employer?
No, I'm doing it.
You're doing it? Okay, so you have to stay on top of it and make sure that you make these payments, because that's the only way it is going to, well, you're doing it. Did I hear you
He
say,
doesn't
Ms.
have a
Howard, that it
job.
was cash, that it's Cash App?
Well,
He
no, I went through child support.
Okay, the Cash App through child support. Okay, okay then.
and basically I haven't received the other one because the $900 was supposed to be for 2 months that he
Mhm.
did not pay, that he was behind because he don't have a job at all.
Oh my God.
So basically, as you can hear how he's talking,
Mhm.
I don't know if he's gonna get one,
Okay, now
but
let's not get into all of that. So okay, so I'm not sure, I think child support is only seeing how much? Are you seeing a 900?
No, I'm seeing the amount that I indicated on the form, the the $482.98.
and that's the
Okay,
amount
so
that I see on mine as well when I look at the information on my app
okay,
is the
so Mr. Barry,
$481.
I'd suggest that you also present that information when you go into child support to make sure that the money gets credited correctly. Okay, and I'd suggest that you do that, I'm sorry, quickly, because I don't want that money to accidentally go to the other parent. So I suggest that you call them and get that straightened out immediately, because I can only assume that they have not issued her money either, because Miss Howard has not received hers. So make sure that you take that care of that promptly, so that there's nothing, because of course we're probably not going to be able to get that money reeled back in once it has been paid, because due to the arrearage in child support, you would owe that as well. Okay, so do you understand what you need to do, Mr. Barry?
Yeah.
And that's the
Oh,
question. Is there a certain time that he has to pay the money? Because like I said, I have to pay the child care for my daughter. I had to take my son out of the child care because I didn't have any money to pay for him. So basically, I was wondering, is there a certain time that he needs to pay
well,
me?
we do give a 30-day window, and it's hard for us to control when that money comes in, but I would suggest to Mr. Barry that, if you can make life easier for your children, I think that's going to also benefit you. So you need to try and be cooperative so that we can move this matter forward. Otherwise, you might be seeing this court a lot more than you'd like to, because I don't want to release this case until we have things in a good, in a good setting. Okay?
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss both of you until February the 2nd, again at 8:30. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Verify here. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, it says 12/18/2023 to this one right here. And then it says to Brenda at 12/18/2023.
Got it. And what's the total? Because we're all saying that you paid on 12/18/2023. We're all in
Yeah.
agreement.
Okay. So
I started by saying you made a payment 12/18/23. We're crediting you $482.98.
okay. So I sent the 901 plus y'all fees or whatever, right? So Brenda got, it states that she got 414.02, and the FSR fee is 4.5. Okay. Now let me go back to her.
Brenda, are you naming your child instead of the custodial parent?
No, Brenda, yeah.
Brenda's who?
My first kid's mother.
Okay, so we're just talking about this case. 482.98 went to this case. Does it show something else on your app?
Yes, it showed me that it went to Brenda. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So it was split up.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Yes, sir. Your payments are always going to split. If you have cases that have current support that's owed, then the payments, it's going to split up.
Okay, so why are we arguing the point then? If I gave you $900,
do he still owe me?
No, sir. We're here on the case with this custodial parent. So you're only discussing today what you paid on this case for this mom. Other mom's case isn't relevant to today.
Okay, if they split that $900 up between this one right here that we're talking about right now and Brenda, then whose fault is that? That's not my fault. If I'm paying child support.
Sure, but it's just the kids, right? So we're just tracking, is the support being paid for the children or not, right? So when you pay through child support services, it's gonna go to both cases. Both kids are important to DCSS.
Okay, so why are we arguing if I'm paying child support and they decided to split that up? Why are we arguing that case?
Okay, Mr. Barry, arguing. We're just trying to make sure you're getting credit for the payments on this case. You said you paid $900 and some, and we're just making sure that you're getting credit for this mom for the right amount. That's all we're talking about.
So you're saying that the amount that he supposed to have paid, even though it got split up, he still owed me $400 and some odd. All
I'm saying is in December 18th, he paid $482.98 towards this case.
For me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And he still owe me money of $400 and some odd that will bring up to 901. Are you saying, is that what you're saying?
I don't understand. I apologize, but he owes arrears. He has to pay $456 every month current support. And I'm saying he paid December 18th, a payment of $482.98. That's all I'm saying. So he has arrears.
And understand that after that month is over, the money falls into the arrearage category. So you're not going to get it twice. You're not going to get it paid directly to you and in that arrears category. Child support has already put that amount into arrears. And my objective here is to keep you current with current support.
Okay, so the other
what
amount
he needs.
Okay,
so you say that went to the other mothers. So, and that's going to happen with every case. So the thing that Mr. Barry needs to understand is that he has to pay enough to cover both cases for you to get your money.
Okay, so the 456 that is awarded to me for both children is the amount that I should be getting every single month.
Correct.
Okay,
So, Mr. Barry, did you understand that you have to pay? Well, first of all, Miss Irina Camarillo, is that child also under the age of majority?
Your Honor, I don't have it pulled up, but if it's splitting, then yes, that means the child's under
Okay,
18. It won't
okay.
split.
No, I just found out that his two children from Brenda is over the age of 18, and they are not getting any child support anymore. She is only getting rears that is owed to her. So they told me that the full $456 goes to me, and if he pays over the 456, then that money would go to Brenda.
If that child is emancipated, that is correct.
It's
You
two
will always
children.
get your current support. But let's say he pays $900, then you're going to get your payment, and then the rest of that
456
payment's going to go to her. Yep,
Right.
towards her
Yep.
arrears. If
Yes,
let's
ma'am.
say he paid only $300 next month, then only you would get that money because it doesn't even cover your current obligation.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, then. Okay. Okay, then we are going to do I already told you, a reset for March the 15th in this case. And so I will see both of you then. And Mr. Berry, remember that, okay, so based on what Attorney Camarillo just said, if you pay more, then that money is going to go to the other moms. So, so we do need for you to make sure that you make your current child support payment. Of course, this money it's not going to disappear. So you're always free to pay more. But I just want you to understand that anything that you pay above is going to go to the other mother until that child support obligation has been completed. Okay, so I'm going to dismiss both of you, and I'll see you on March the 15th.
Okay, let's see. In this case, Mr. Berry, you're under an order to pay $456 per month. You have a past due amount of $3,165. It looks like one payment was made. It may have been an intercepted payment on December 18th, 2023. It may have been a payment you made yourself. Let me look at Judge Scott's notes. Both parties were present. Reset. Ms. Berry said he was going to pay $900, giving him another chance. Doesn't pay before next court date, a warrant will be issued. That was on December 15th. So you, of course, made that one payment. And she was going to monitor payments. Both parties were present. All right, she was going to monitor payments, but there have been no payments. So there's one payment made December 18th, 2023, and no additional payments. So it looks like the notes are she's going to go ahead and issue the warrant, but I'm going to ask you to unmute Mr. Berry, and you could explain to me what's going on, because at this point, there's been no payment for January, February. I don't know what your history is. It says, judge stated that if Mr. Berry doesn't pay, a warrant will be issued. So she's told you that a warrant would be issued. You guys both came to court in January because you did make the December payment, and then no payment since then. So I'll hear from you, Mr. Berry, because she's probably going to go ahead and issue the warrant for your arrest.
Okay. I can pay 3 today, but if that's what she's gonna do, that's what she's gonna do.
Well, I mean, what's going on with you? Why aren't you just paying? Why do you have to wait until today to say I'm going to pay today?
Because I just got the money. So I got the money yesterday, and I was trying to go on the app. I need to get my IRN number again so I can get on the app.
Okay, so what's going on? Are you not working or something?
No, I'm not.
And why aren't you working?
Because I have a problem. I have a problem with my back, and I'm trying to get that situated. So me working, I haven't found a job that's going to allow me to, the days that I can't even move, be okay with that. Okay,
so you're saying you have some type of disability or something?
Yes, and I'm trying to proceed with that. So whatever dollars that I get, I try to collect so I can give it to her. I don't have no problem with that.
Okay, let me just see how old. Let me try. Gosh, I've got that situation where were you involved in this case, and Miss Irina Camarillo at all with Judge Scott? Do you have any notes?
I have a recollection of it. I mean, I'm sure I've been here from time to time, or Miss Carson.
Okay. Let's see.
I am sending him his IRN number right now. Mr. Barry, if you want to take a moment and write that down, it's in the chat.
Okay.
So how old is a child in this case? Miss Irina Camarillo, can you share with me? Because I can't get into any of the applications because Adobe's not working.
Looks like there are two children, one born in 2016, in May of 2016, the other born February 2020.
Okay, thank you. 2020?
Mm-hmm.
So you guys have like young children?
Yes.
Yeah, Jasmine was born in 2020.
Right. Wow. Okay. Well, was your back hurt then? I mean, were you injured then or were you working at that time?
I was injured since 2008. But let me explain this. Everything was fine. Everything was fine until I didn't want to do anything for her. So now you want to put me on child support, but I got text messages and all that other stuff saying that I'm a good father this and I'm a good father that, and I spoil my kids and I do this, that, and the third.
Hold on, Mr. Barry, stop. No. I just told you we're not going to get into all that.
Okay. So well, that's I'm explaining that.
Okay, you've already explained that to Judge Scott. I'm stepping in for her. My question is whether or not you are what changed that you're not providing the support for your children? If you're not providing the support, then I'm going to let her know that you didn't provide the child support. She was hoping you would pay the support for January, February, and she would have dismissed the case, but you're not paying the child support. So let me mute you for just a moment. Okay, Ms. Howard?
Yes.
Are you aware, has this come up already, that he has some type of back injury?
Yes, but he has gotten a job before when we worked together, and he's always making excuses of why he's not going to why he didn't keep the job. He loves to do this what you call that, working here, working there, making 20 here for 30 there. I've seen him with a chunk of money in his hands when he took my son to children's place. This is like a place where you get secondhand clothes for kids. I know for a fact he can make money, but he refused to, and then he gets upset with me because he's saying that he cannot talk to his kids unless he pay. That is not true.
Okay,
My
so
son,
what it looks like here with the notes that Judge Sherry said that I guess Mr. Barry, Judge, she may have found that you had the ability to do something. I'm going to mute you, ma'am. She may have found that you had the ability to earn some type of income. Have you gone to the fatherhood program yet? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Me? No.
Yeah. All right. So there's a fatherhood program that takes people like you. Can you stay in? You keep showing me your ceiling. I need to see you. Okay. So she must be finding that you have the ability to pay and you're refusing to. So there's all these documents attached to the case. Are any of these evidence from any doctors that you have a back injury that precludes you from doing any type of work?
No, that's what I'm proceeding to do now.
Okay, so how are you supporting yourself financially right now?
Well, it's here and there.
What does that mean?
Okay.
So who's paying your rent or where are you living?
Well, actually, I'm staying here. I'm blessed to have a place to stay. I'm really not having a place to stay. So you can say I'm homeless, but I'm granted to stay where I'm at until they decide to say leave.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's try the fatherhood program because maybe you just need Miss Howard, bear with me. Arresting him is not going to do anything. You're not going to get any money. I've been doing this a little bit longer than Judge Scott, so I'm going to tell her about maybe she's not familiar with the fatherhood program. But what that fatherhood program does, it gives the opportunity for the fatherhood program, especially if he doesn't have his own place and things like that, he's just kind of hustling here and there. It gives him the opportunity to get employment so you can get your consistent child support, because issuing a warrant, they're going to, if they find that he's disabled or unable to work or whatever the circumstance is. If you don't comply with the fatherhood program, then she's definitely going to issue a warrant for your arrest. So Miss Irina Camarillo, but you still need to pay that child support that you were going to pay this month. You said you were going to be able to make a payment today. So when you do side hustles, is it just like helping friends out, doing things like that?
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Do you have a car?
No.
Okay. Sounds crazy. I'm sure if you're almost homeless, you don't have a credit card either. Just a minute.
No.
I see, Miss Howard. Okay. So when did your life kind of go to the downturn?
Well, it's always been dealing with the situation that I'm in with my back and everything, and I try to make it work. So she's saying that me getting clothes and stuff that the kids need. I mean, hey, if I gotta be out all night.
That's not what I asked you. Let's not go there. Okay.
Well, no, I'm saying
hold on. You created with her 2 young children. You have a lifetime that you have to figure out how to help support your children, and we'll figure it out. But I'm going to start you with the fatherhood program.
I've been supporting my children. This is what I don't understand, and everybody want to bypass this. I've been supporting my children since they were born. It's just the fact that when me and her stopped being together, now all of a sudden I'm going to be on child support. That's the issue that I have. And everybody don't want to pay attention to me.
Okay, listen. Okay, I see why she's going to issue the warrant. You're not listening either. So let me let you listen. Come back into the screen, please. Okay, let me explain to you. It doesn't matter what her relationship is with you. You have a child support order issued by a judge to provide child support. You have to pay that monthly child support to the mother to help her provide for the children, whether you like it or not, the way it's being done. You probably were already doing that amount, but now that you have a judge telling you, you're like kind of rebelling. Well, it's not going to work because
that's not the case.
Don't cut me off when I'm talking, please. Okay. So what I hear you saying is she's putting me on child support because she's mad at me. So what? You have to get over it. You have to pay children. You chose to have 2 children, so you love them. That's awesome. You're with them. That's awesome. But you have an order to pay child support, so you need to pay it. So I'll let I'll make a note for Judge Scott that I'm recommending recommending the father program. Go ahead and put you in that one. Participating in that program, they'll help you get on track, help you find a good job with your injury, and then mom will get consistent child support. You said you were going to make a payment today. Are you still making this week or today? Which means you've been able to do some side hustle. So are you making that payment?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll have Judge Scott's clerk call you if Judge Scott's directive is that she's going to issue a warrant for your arrest because of the non-payment. But if you make the payment, then that'll cover your March payment. Then you just have to make the April payment. Listen, even if you can't pay the whole thing for some reason, just try to pay, $100. If you pay, I always tell dads like $75 a week, or if you pay, it's showing that you're making an effort to comply with the court order. And I think that's where you're getting yourself in trouble here. You're not trying to pay. I'm sorry, you have 500. That's not correct what I just said. You can break your payment down in a weekly payment, which is easier instead of trying to make full payments and try to pay as much as you can. And so if your payments are $125 a week, if you can try to get out there and do what you can, at least pay $125, as close as $125 a week, you're complying, and this is dismissing. You're not going to have to go to jail, get picked up, stay in this stuff until your child is 18. So the question is, it will have to be for a judge to decide. Do you have the ability to make the money and you're refusing to? Well, not this judge. This has to be through a criminal judge that's going to be in court and make a decision. And that's why if we have to arrest you, they'll decide whether or not you have a true injury, and that it's inhibiting your ability or limiting your ability to work. But what I'm going to do is ask if she wants to issue the warrant. I'll ask her to check on Monday to see if they make the payment. If you made the payment, I'll ask Judge to consider setting the case out 2 more months, allow you to go to the fatherhood program, see if you can get on track. But Mr. Berry, if you can make the payment for this month, starting in April, just work on trying to figure out how you could pay $100 a week or as close to that as you can. Okay. And then you don't find yourself in this predicament. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure it doesn't make any sense to fight this. You have to just say, okay, this is what I've got to do. And you're contributing to the household and the mother's household to help her provide for your kids. It doesn't mean you don't love them. It doesn't mean you haven't supported them in the past. It's just, this is the way it works. When you have a child support order, you just have to pay it to the court. Okay. So just take off all that angst and frustration about I'm not doing for her, so she doesn't, okay, that's your truth. That's fine, but that's not what's important here. And it doesn't mean you don't love your children. So I'm going to put here, I'm going to put my notes, and then Ms. Ford, you can put your notes. Suggest the fatherhood program. Ms. Serena Camarillo, can we send him the information for the fatherhood program, please?
Yes, he's got a case in Clayton County, so I will send him the information, but he'll need to call and then request that from his agent.
Okay, and we have his email address. Oh, you'll need to call the child support office, Mr. Berry, because they're not in the cab. You're out of Clayton County, and if you could please tell them that you'd like to register for the fatherhood program, then you'll start going to that program, and that will help get your license reinstated in case you want to get your license reinstated, even though you don't have a car right now. Things can look up, they can change. The kids are young. You could even, there's jobs that you could do even with a hurting back. So just don't be frustrated and angry about the situation. Just say, you know what, let me do better. Let me go ahead and get myself together, go to the fatherhood program, participate, stop being upset about how I'm in the system, and just pay my child support and get a good job so you could support yourself and not have to live in somebody else's basement or house. And you can get your own place. It's going to take time, but you can do it. Don't give up on yourself. Yes,
and Your Honor,
Serena
when he calls, he could actually ask if he could get into the parental accountability court program into Clayton County. Again, it's Clayton. I won't know all the parameters they have, but that's what he should ask about first: parental accountability court, and then fatherhood, because they do potentially have a pending contempt coming up from the notes I saw. So that means he could get into parental accountability court, or at least that's what he should ask for, Mr. Berry, when you call.
You know when the contempt is? Because, I don't like when we have a contempt.
They just now started the process, Your Honor. So that's the reason I didn't inform the court earlier. I know the court, it's not moved forward yet. So there's been no service. So I wouldn't stop this yet.
Okay. So Ms. Howard, what's happening with that, and Mr. Berry, there's a contempt proceeding being filed, and that contempt proceeding, that's the judge that issued the order, or the court that issued the order of child support. Mr. Berry, at that time, they're going to make the determination of your whether or not you're disabled, if so, then they're going to adjust the child support to minimum wage, just to function. But that's going to happen, and that's happening at that contempt hearing. The judge is going to decide whether or not there's enough evidence to show that you are disabled and that you don't have the ability to earn the income. And then when you get disability pay, if you do get it, then the children should be able to get disability pay through your disability. They should be able to receive payments through your disability. So I'm going to go ahead and put it back on in 2 months to let Judge Scott decide if she's issuing a warrant. But I think if you make your payment this month, you make your payment in April, try to make weekly payments or 2 payments a month to the best of your ability. If you're not working, I always say we can't reduce your child support, but try to pay at least $300 a month. Try to pay something substantial, so that substantially complying, so you're at least putting effort. We got to see effort. If you have to go out there and hustle and do whatever every week, then if you can make, $200 a week hustling, just put $100 every week, and then you're not paying the full amount, but you're trying. And that's what we have to see. Okay. Not one lump sum payment. A lot of people can't come up with a lump sum. So let's try that effort. Okay. I'm going to encourage dad to pay weekly payments. But you said you're making the payment today?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay. And then also, she sent you the number, I guess, did you get it?
Yeah, it popped up. I think I got to go into the chat to get it.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. So go ahead and make that payment again. I know mom's probably tired of this, but I just really, sometimes the fatherhood program and the contempt just kind of bring things to full circle. So hold on, Mr. Berry. Yes, Ms. Howard, go ahead, please.
We have went through this 3 times. This is the 3rd time with the judge asking him, is he gonna make a payment? He says, yes, I'm gonna make a payment after we got off the thing. Haven't gotten the money yet.
Okay. She'll probably issue the warrant. She'll probably issue the warrant, but I'm going to let her make that decision. I'm putting notes in the case that he failed to make the payment. And so she'll probably look at the case on Monday And if she doesn't, or she's got to give it at least 3 days. If she doesn't see it, she'll have her clerk call to let Mr. Berry know that the warrant's been issued, and she'll let you know as well. And so the case will be removed from the calendar, okay?
Okay, but I'm not trying to get him to be put in jail. I just want him to help me with these kids.
Okay, I understand you both.
Doing this 100%. So
I know. That's
100% with food and clothes and everything. He's not trying to help.
I understand. Okay.
Right.
I understand. I mean, you've been saying that, I'm sure, for all these months. I'm not trying to give him another break. I take a different approach. I just try to say, look, if this is what you want to do, go in and out of the criminal court system for the next, 15 years of your children's lives, you can, or you can make a decision, or you can make a decision to try to find something that you could do. I mean, to provide for your children. That's why I try to say, break the payments up per week. If you go out there and you can't help anybody move. I don't know what you can do to help people do, what skill you have. What type of industry were you in, Mr. Berry, before this case happened? Where did you work?
Auto mechanic.
You're a mechanic. Come on. You can they'll help you get a job. You can go work in Jiffy Lube. I had a mechanic the other day.
How you gonna work at Jiffy Lube without a license?
Why do you have to have a license?
Yeah. Because you gotta drive the cars. That's a liability.
Okay, Mr. Berry. Well, then you need to learn how to catch the bus and get to work.
Oh, I ain't got no problem catching no buses. I said my issue is somebody allowing the days that I cannot move around be fine with me not coming to work. That's what I said. I didn't say I can't get nowhere.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to find something part-time that you feel comfortable doing. I understand that you have back pain, but you're going to have a doctor's note. You can't just sit there and say you have back pain. You've got to present evidence to the court, and that's what they're going to do the contempt hearing for. You have to have a lawyer's note, a doctor's note. You can't just say, I have back pain. I have back pain too. We all have back pain. Some is worse than others. I get some is worse. Some is worse than others, but you got to have a medical doctor's slip. All right. So I'm done with this case. I'm going to let her know. She'll call you and let you know if she's issuing the warrant for your arrest, and you could just turn yourself into Cobb County Jail. But she may give you one more chance. If you make the payment and you start making weekly payments, then she may give you to see that you're making an effort. I think she'd give you a second chance. It's just going to be a suggestion I make on your behalf. All right.
Judge, one more thing.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Okay. I have pain every single day. Right. So basically, that doesn't stop me from taking care of my babies.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I do understand. I think that Mr. Berry has the ability to pay something, but he's upset about your relationship, and you guys have to deal with that on your own. So, okay, well, if she issues the warrant, she'll give you a call. You guys have a good day. When is her next court date? Not mine, whatever date that is. It looks like it's May 17th. And I'm sorry, Miss Howard, I'm just trying to see if the fatherhood program can help. Because Mr. Berry, if they do the contempt on you, if the judge finds you in contempt, they're going to hold you in custody until somebody in your family comes up with $2,000. You have a choice to do it your way and do it right, our way and do it right, or you can do it your way and you're going to end up in jail. And if you don't care about that, that's fine. I get it. Some days I don't care if I go to jail. So that's up to you. So I hope you make your payments this month. Miss Ford, if you could put a note, Dad indicated he will make a payment today. A judge suggested that he start making weekly payments, review the case in May. And if she decides that she wants to issue the warrant and not give you that second chance, then that's fine. Miss Ford will give you a call and let you know. Thank you guys. Have a good day. You're excused from court. See you all on May 17th with Judge Scott.
Okay. I lost somebody. I mean, I don't see anyone.
Is this Miss Howard?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Can I have both of you raise your right hands? Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Mr. Berry, can you unmute? I have to audibly hear you say yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Right now we're researching your case, Mr. Berry, because we know we had an issue with monies being split to another case. How much did you pay, Mr. Berry?
For May, $301 or $309.
That's okay. What we have.
Okay, that's exactly what we have.
Okay.
What is the monthly child support amount?
For this one, 456.
Okay, so what is the reason why you're not paying your full amount, Mr. Berry?
I got a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
If I pay money on child support, that's being questioned. If I don't pay child support, is a question. So what is the real reason that we got to go to court every other month? Because the whole 456 is not being paid. That's the problem.
That is the problem,
Oh,
precisely.
okay, all right. I thought by paying child support, it's not like I gave her $50. I gave her $309. So that's something towards child support. So why is that always being questioned? You only question when I don't pay. That don't make no sense to me.
Well, Mr. Berry, the court has determined that you have the ability to pay $456 a month towards child support. So you are not allowed to adjust that and pay what you feel is appropriate. You are expected to pay $456 every month towards child support.
Okay. All right. So we determined that. So I'll get the 456. Now what we're gonna do a month and a half or the month after next, we gotta come back to court. So we gotta do this till they turn 18.
Only if you're not paying $456.
Oh, okay. But they should explain that to me. They should have explained that to me in the beginning that we're gonna keep going to court. If I give her 454, then we gotta keep going back to court. So now I get an understanding. Let me make sure you get your 456, so I don't have to keep coming to court.
To me, there's really, I don't see what the confusion is. If you have a car note, you can't pay what you want towards the car note. They come and take away your car. So it's the same logic. You pay what you are expected to pay, and then you don't suffer any consequences.
Okay. All right. So let's speed this up and then set another court date so y'all can make sure I pay the 456.
Right. Now, if you consistently pay your $456 and we see that you understand and that's moving forward for about 3 months, then we will consider dismissing this matter. So now that you understand, hopefully, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset you. I'm going to give you a few months so that you can either sink or swim. I'm going to reset you to August the 16th. So during that time, what you're going to have to show me is that you're going to make your full payment in June and your full payment in July. And then, we're going to evaluate you and also expect that full payment in August. And if you do that, then we can go ahead and dismiss this matter. Now, if you wait until August the 14th and you make 3 payments at once, then we're going to keep this matter going. Or if you stop paying altogether, we're going to keep going. But if you do what you're supposed to do, then at that point, this matter will be dismissed. Do you understand?
Yes.
And it has to be on time because she needs to be able to know that she can expect this money so that she can take care of those child care expenses.
Okay, I got to the 1st to the 30th, so that's on time if I pay on the 15th. So everything is on time.
Yeah, you do get 30 days, but I'm not saying you should wait until the last day.
Well, I don't wait till the last. So
no, you haven't.
Okay, so we can we go on?
Okay, so then if we have if that's understood, I'm going to go ahead and have you reset till August the 16th, and you're free to enjoy the rest of your day. Okay? Miss Howard, is everything okay for you? Oh, unmute, please.
Yes, everything's okay. I do apologize about this, how you talk. This is how you is. Don't worry about that. But
I understand. I've had Mr. Berry on a few times now.
yeah,
But
right now, what I'm doing is I have to find a second job, a part-time second job, working at home. I do have fibromyalgia, and I have my spine is messed up as well. So I'm trying to find me a second job, a second part-time job, because I can't even pay my rent. I'm leaving my rent.
Okay.
And so I'm trying.
Okay, well, we're gonna work to get this set up. I'm not gonna dismiss your case until we are receiving regular full payments, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then. Good luck to you. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks so much.
Bye. Oh, there we go.
Okay, take yourself off of mute.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, yes, you know, we've been trying to reach you for quite some time. Did you step away?
I was on the camera. Y'all had me muted. My Zoom didn't unmute until you just unmuted it and the camera.
Okay, so I need both of you to come on camera and raise your right hands. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Humphrey, I do show that we received a payment on February the 29th, but we haven't received anything in March. What is going on?
Yes, ma'am. So
there is a payment that came in 327 for $71, but it was involuntary, as were all of the other payments.
Wow. So, Mr. Humphrey, when are you going to get on board and just go in and start making your child support payments?
okay, so this is what's been going on. I was a UPS driver. I went out for injury. I didn't get paid for 2 years, and I've taken this back to help me get my license back, so I can at least go into work on the disability position. And we was living together. So now that I couldn't get my license back to go back to work, they fired me. I was pushed into retirement, and I'm still injured, and I got paperwork, and I'm applying for SSI disability.
I'm confused. Are you on disability? What is it that you're saying? What is the reason you're not paying child support?
I'm out of work. I was out of work on disability. I wasn't getting paid. Right? And I got paperwork showing the time that I was off. I've been injured since 2016. I was T-boned in the truck, and I've been dealing with this. And I've been.
You said since October of 2016?
So since 2016, I've been in and out of work with UPS.
Okay, because we received the payment back on February 29th. Who did that come from?
That's all I got. That's Texas. That's all I got. I haven't worked since 2022.
That was an involuntary payment, Your Honor.
Okay.
Do you hear me, Judge? Hello?
I do, but I'm trying to find out, how do you support yourself? What are you doing?
If I can.
Mm-hmm. And
why can't you get a job?
I got a back injury. I tore the muscles in my lower back. I was in a
Okay, so you might not be able to drive a UPS truck, but why can't you do a desk job?
I've been trying to get a job. I can't work nowhere. I can barely sit and stand. Look, man, since I've been on child support, me and Ms. Vega was living together. She started putting me out and stuff. I was paying bills while I was on child support, and to this day, I still spend all my money on my kids. I see my kids every week, and she drop them off whenever she wants to.
Well, that's kind of irrelevant. I need to know when you are going to start working, because you have to be able to support your children. And it sounds to me like you work here and there when you have to.
Well, they disabled me. My doctor disabled me. I got disability paperwork. They disabled me. I've been unable to work.
Ms. Carson, do you have anything from the state of Georgia with regards to his disability?
Nothing that I know of. Can go
So
back.
why haven't you submitted any paperwork?
I've been submitting paperwork. The lady at the child support office, right, hasn't been submitting any of my documentation. I've been going up there with the kids. I've been telling them that the last time I went, I told them that I had the kids. I had to return the kids to them, to Miss Baker. That's when I was fed up. I was taking care of them. I'm sending my money to them, and I'm spending my money on her apartment, and I just couldn't do it no more. The kids, I was having the kids, and I took them up there to the child support office while she was up there, right? I had them call her to come up there, and then they told me to bring the kids up there and leave them with her. And that's the day that she submitted the child abandonment paperwork. And I've been telling them and telling them and telling them. Like I lost my job behind all of this because I didn't have my license.
Well, I hear you saying that you're telling them, but what doctor's paperwork have you submitted?
Who do I submit my paperwork to other than the women at the local child support office? Who do I submit my paperwork to?
Well, for one, you could submit it to this office as well, because when we look in the computer, we're not seeing any paperwork.
And also, the last time I went down there, they had a whole. I submitted a request for mistreatment because when I went down there, right, my sister went back first, and then when my name was called, the lady was back there telling the manager of the child support office that she wasn't doing the fucking thing to me. And then once I came back there, my sister was still back there, and my sister approached her. She had it all on recording. My sister approached her and said, "Tell her what you told him." And since then, I knew they wasn't submitting my paperwork that I was telling them. And when I first went out on disability at work, I submitted my paperwork, and that was July 2022.
Now, when you say you submitted your paperwork, is this paperwork from an approved physician?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you updated it since 2022?
Yes, ma'am. I recently went up there in January, and then I filed a court claim in court after the altercation that we had up there.
I don't understand. What do you mean altercations?
With the whole little while I was up there telling her manager that she wasn't gonna do a thing for me, and it was a whole argument and everything, and they told us not to come back up there.
Okay, so what I think you need to do is you need to go back to the doctor. You need to get current paperwork, because if you're still submitting the 2022 paperwork, they may not accept it. You need to get some 2024 paperwork from your doctor showing that you are disabled. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you need to submit that to child support. If you're applying for disability, you need to submit it to the state of Georgia, and then you need to submit it to our office.
Yeah. Dang, y'all. So what would be proof that I'm taking care of my kid? What would be considered proof?
That you paid money. And I mean, none of this shows that you paid any money. We're just trying to find out what your status is to find out.
So you asking me, do I take care of my kids? So you don't have any significant evidence that I don't take care of my kids other than money? That's what you're telling me?
Okay, so if you're saying that when you take care of your kids, it does not include money, then all I can do is put you in jail. There's no such thing as supporting your children without providing finances. Oh, I guess he didn't like that. So, Miss Vega, is he just trying to what, provide care? Is that what this is about? Oh, you're on mute. Unmute, please. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
To be honest, I'm not sure. I know I work for the DeKalb County school system, and I work a full 40-hour week. On the week, I have my Friday. I allow children to go to their grandparents' house, which is where Mr. Humphrey resides right now. So I allow them to have that open relationship and communication with dad and grandparents. Right? But I keep them Monday through Friday. Now, when it comes to finances, I get paid twice a month. If you calculate my rent, food, utilities, car insurance, daycare fees, extra.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Your line is very, very. Are you hearing this too, Ms. Carson? It's very fuzzy.
I can't make out anything she's saying.
Okay, so I don't know. Try again, Miss Vega. I don't know if there's any settings you can change, but it's hard to hear.
Move to a different place, maybe.
Hear me?
Yes. Okay. Let me just repeat what I think I heard. So basically, you work every day, and you take the children to his parents' house on the weekend so that he can, you know, do whatever for his children, but also in the care of the grandparents, who are the ones that have the roof over the children's head and I guess are feeding them. Was that correct?
Yes.
And so do you know anything about this disability?
So I know that he had his back thrown out, but I'm not sure what his employer and him have talked about, because when I did put him on child support, unfortunately from child support, because he's not working, they don't have any money to put him. But I'm, you know, with dad, he'll send me emails in regards that he's still working. So I wasn't sure whether he was still working, whether he wasn't working, whether he was on workers' comp. I wasn't sure how he get paid, or not. So I didn't get a lot of information. The child support, the privacy and regulatories of, you know,
Okay. Yeah, your line is still really bad. So, okay. So I'm trying to figure out, does it seem like he's trying to launch some type of lawsuit against his former employer?
I'm not sure. To be honest, I really don't know. I really can't tell you. I know something's talked about if he fully was able to go through it. So, I mean, I honestly don't know, Judge.
Okay.
I don't know any information. I have no idea. And child support, they don't really give me a heads up. They don't really notify me as to what's going on his side.
Yeah, and I
last
don't
time I
think
spoke to child support, it was in January.
yeah, I don't think we know.
So,
well, no, there's been some child support since then. Ms. Carson, you said $71 came in this month?
Yeah,
last
but
month?
these are all involuntary, and it's going to take time to get to her.
Oh, they're not. Oh, they don't release. Okay.
Yeah, one of the payments was $792, and that came in February 29th. The other one is just $71 on March 27th, but they'll both take some time.
Could he be in the fatherhood or any of our programs?
From what child support state? Oh.
There's no fatherhood information on here at all.
Hmm. So how can he is something that he has to request?
No, I can send something in. Yeah, it's a cab case, so I can send something in to ask that he be put in the father program.
Let's do that, because I don't know. I think there's some inability to comprehend what his responsibilities are. Oh, he's trying to get back in. Mr. Humphrey, can you hear me? Can you unmute?
Yes, ma'am. My iPad went dead.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put you in the fatherhood program.
Hold on.
So you.
Oh, wait. Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
So you telling me that y'all can take my license, make me lose my job, the way I support my kids, while me and Sheena Vega living together and I'm paying all the bills. You telling me that y'all can take my license, make me lose my job, and then tell me I need to go in the fatherhood program because I'm not taking care of my kids?
Yes.
And y'all don't have no proof, and I still don't have no way of getting around, and I'm still in my kids' life. Y'all gonna tell me that I got to go to a fatherhood program? I was at my job for 15 years. For 15 years, I didn't lose my job until I lost my license. And I always been in my kids' lives. I've never been a part of their life. And you telling me
Mr. Humphrey, are you aware that if you report to child support and you tell them your situation, that you can get your driver's license returned?
Man, it ain't even about the license. That's what I'm telling y'all. I already lost my job behind y'all. And I just sent her money. Y'all telling me I don't take care of my kids. I got proof that I send my money.
Okay, so Mr. Humphrey, I'm giving you the opportunity to do the fatherhood program.
It's some bull.
I don't know what that means, but will the paperwork go to his home, Ms. Carson?
Hang on a second. I'm in Zoom call. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Anna.
I just want to find out, will the paperwork for the fatherhood program go to his home?
I've already sent it through. I already sent through a request on it. Let me make certain that we have the same address.
Okay. Ms. Vega, I'm going to go ahead and dismiss you. I'm going to have you return on May the 3rd for status. I see an iPhone trying to get in, and I just think it's going to be better if you're not included. I'm just going to let him know the same. Okay?
It's my phone. I'm trying to see if I can log in with my phone because it's on my laptop.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so then he is gone. Okay, so we're going to just resume on May the 3rd. I just want to see if he can get to a point of understanding that whether you and he are together or not, he has a responsibility to take care of his children. And he seems to be disturbed that he did it for 15 years and therefore that's supposed to count for something. But, you know, these children have to be supported for their lifetime, and that's the way it is, or rather, at least till they're 18. Okay? Okay, then. Thank you. Bye-bye. Gregory Humphrey, Sheena Vega.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, Mr. Humphrey, Miss Vega, if I can have both of you raise your right hands. Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Humphrey, we haven't received a payment on this case since March the 27th.
Yes, ma'am. I'm currently waiting for SSI disability. I injured my back in 07 or 22 at work, and I've had 3 back surgeries. And as of August 2023, I had to resign and retire from my job, and I received $100 a month because of catastrophic injury.
Mm-hmm. Well, but Social Security has not made a determination that you are disabled. So
I have a job.
okay, now I don't know if you listened to Miss Ford at the beginning, but you can't be walking around and doing other things while you're on this video. So can you put yourself in one place? Okay, thank you. Okay, so what is the situation? Because if you don't have a determination yet from Social Security, you have to continue paying your child support.
I don't have a job. I can. So this situation from the beginning, I never abandoned my child, and we've never been apart. I live with Miss Vega from the time she put me on child support until 2023. I was paying child support, rent, and giving her money.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I finally had enough of it, she dropped the kids off. So I was taking care of the kids for 4 months from September to December. And I was calling child support and defects. And I went up there to the defects office and I gave them my paperwork. And the lady at the defects office told me she not doing the effing thing for me and that they couldn't reduce my child support payment.
So are all of these the reasons why you decided to go on Social Security disability? Because this doesn't really have anything to do with why you're not making current payments.
I'm not getting paid. I'm only getting $100 a month.
Well, I mean, the only conclusion I can come to is that Social Security has made the determination that you're not disabled. It may be that you can work a desk job. You might be able not to work the one that you had before, but you've got to consider other alternatives because not only for your child, but I'm sure that you have to survive yourself. Is that not correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So how do you pay rent?
I don't rent. We own a home.
Well, even when you own a home, utilities have to be paid.
Yeah.
So are these things getting paid?
Yeah.
So you need to find that source and make sure that you pay your child support, because you're making sure that your needs are taken care of, but you're not taking care of the needs of your children.
Issue. We take care of them 50-50. I have my kids every weekend, through the weekend, and sometimes through the week. It's not an issue of me taking care of my kids. It's never been a day that I haven't been a part of my kids' life. And I guess I'm here to defend myself today, but it's no way to defend yourself as a man taking care of your kids. I can show videos and whatever you want to see, vacations.
Okay, so let me tell you something.
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't want to pay child support, then you remember at the beginning, I said we cannot assess value to what you think what your services are worth. So stop doing the babysitting or, the parenting that you're doing and pay the child support. And that way you are back to where you need to be, because you obviously feel that you're going above and beyond with care, but that's not what the court is asking you for. We're asking you to pay your child support.
I neglect my kids like that.
Excuse me?
I neglect my kids like that.
Well, I mean, you don't have a choice when it comes to child support. So you can do what you can do for your children, but just make sure that you pay your child support, because the child support is what is mandated. You spending 50% of the time with your children is not mandated by this court.
You heard that? So you saying cut off all contact and just pay child support?
Those words never came out of my mouth, that cut off all contact. No, you can call your children, you can visit them, you can FaceTime them, you can Zoom them, you can take them out to lunch every once in a while, you can spend 6 p.m. Friday until 6 p.m. Sunday, but your priority is to make sure they're supported. So you need to do something that's going to provide support for your children.
Well, yes, ma'am. That's what I'm saying. My children were well supported. When I was working, I was making $50 an hour. That's what. And I was paying Miss Baker's rent, and we were staying together. I was paying the rent, and she didn't work.
Okay, when we go into this, it sounds as if this is purposeful and intentional, that you're not paying child support now because you think that you've given all of this in the past. That's not the issue for this court. Okay, and you're disrespecting the court again by walking around while you're on video. As I stated before, you need to be in one place.
I can't sit down for long. I have nerve damage. Like I'm trying to hold it together. Just please work. Please. I have spinal cord damage to my lower back. I've been trying to explain that to them. I went down there to the child support office, and they neglected me to give me due process. And it's been the same thing the entire time. I've been going down there, getting my paperwork. My paperwork never got submitted. My injury paperwork never got submitted. And it ultimately ended up in me resigning from my position at my job.
So how are you going to resolve this? And the resolution needs to be monetary.
Well, I receive $100 a month pension, and whatever I can, I'll send to the child support office. But as of now, I'm not working, and I'm waiting to receive SSI disability.
Have you requested benefits on behalf of your children?
Yes, ma'am. I also submitted paperwork for custody and legitimation.
Okay, I can't hear all of that because that has nothing to do with this. So, okay, Miss Vega, are you aware of all of these issues that Mr. Humphrey has?
I am aware of his back with him being resigned from his job. I don't know whether he was fired or voluntarily quit. That I don't know. I have spoken to him about it. He's told me he's been fired, but I don't have any proof that he's been resigned or he's been fired without a rehire or anything like that. I've suggested to him, look, if you can go back to UPS, if they can give you a desk job and you prove to them your paperwork that you can't do heavy duty lifting or heavy duty activities, I will be in agreement to helping him to where he can, still make payments and still have his job. Or if we can come down to a resolution where we can have something written and agreed and notarized by the court to where it's like, look, this is what you're going to pay, but you have to be consistent. And you still have your job and you have your license and you can still be able to get by to where you can provide for yourself. But I can't help him if he chooses not to help himself.
So, Mr. Humphrey, I guess I need to, find out from you, what it is that you're going to do, because waiting for Social Security to start paying you is not an option when you have children.
Yes, ma'am. Like I stated, I take care of my kids, and it isn't this a hearing? Can I ask questions?
Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I would like for you to ask Ms. Vega, was I living with her when she put me on child support?
But I'm not going to ask that because I'm not dealing with the child support in the past. I'm dealing with the child support today. I'm mandated to ask you why you're not paying $651 today. Therefore, anything that was happening when you two were living together has no part to this hearing.
Yes, ma'am. Like I stated, I suffered a catastrophic back injury where I have nerve damage and I can barely walk.
Mm-hmm.
I can submit paperwork. I have all my paperwork, my doctor paperwork, everything. But as far as what you guys are asking, I can only do the best that I can.
Well, right now that has turned out to be nothing in the past. Let's see, March, April, we got nothing in April, and this is May. So can you make a payment every month?
Yes, I told you I'll send the retirement check that I received.
And if this is the case, have you gone to child support to request a modification?
Man, several times. The lady, Miss Sandra Fulton, she cussed me out. And she told, well, can I say what she said?
No, not if she cussed you out. Okay, so
my sister was present, and I filed something with the court against her. But the entire time this has been going on, I have my rights have been violated, and I haven't had due process. Even when I was put on child support, I never had a day in court. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I've always been in my kids' life from day one. Day one. I've never went 2 months, 3 months without.
Okay, but if you heard me at the beginning, I told you that this is not about you abandoning your child emotionally. It's support wise. So that's not an issue for this court. So, I mean, we can go back and forth all day. What I'm going to do is I am going to take this matter. I'm going to place it under advisement, but I'm just going to let you know one of the options may be that you be incarcerated. So I need to figure out, we're either going to do a reset or, or an incarceration, but I don't have very many options. And, you have not made a payment within 30 days of this hearing date, which is what makes incarceration an option in this situation. So what I would recommend that you do is, while I have this under advisement, I think you need to get to a kiosk or something and pay that $100 as soon as possible.
Okay, and what about a readjustment, a modification?
I can't do that. That has to go through Superior Court. And if you were not successful with the child support office, maybe you need to go to Superior Court or go to the, where is it that they go? You said, I'm sorry, Ms. Carson. Where is it that they go? Oh, you're on mute.
Family Law Information Center is there in the court building.
Yeah, the Family Law Information Center.
They also have a website where he could get forms. And then if he had any questions, he could go there with the forms completed as much as possible. It would save some time and effort.
Okay. So do you have that? But I do need for you to go ahead and, like I said, get that $100 in as soon as possible so that when I sit down with my cases, I can, I don't want to have to put you in jail, but, you have to cooperate.
What's cooperating?
Paying money.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Volunteer anyway.
Okay. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, isn't this voluntary? Are you working on court today, or are you working under child support?
I'm working for the court.
The judicial branch.
Absolutely. Did you listen to anything that I said in my introduction, where I said that in the state of Georgia, both parents are legally required to pay support for their minor children?
And I don't pay support my kids. What they saying? But I support my kids. The only way to support.
Okay, there was another section that I read to you that said that you cannot make non-monetary payments and expect the other side to accept it. You have to pay once.
I'm sorry, my phone had went on.
Once your case goes to DHS, you have to make the money. You have to make the payments. You understand?
I'm listening. So the whole reason I got on child support anyway was I filed to have Miss Vega on child support. She broke into my vehicle and stole the paperwork.
Okay. Now we're totally beyond what this court is for. So I'm going to leave it at what I said. When I sit down to review my cases, when I sit down to review next week, if there's $100 paid in, then I will not do the arrest order. I'm putting it under advisement. But if there is nothing paid, then I don't have a choice. Okay, so you know where you stand, and to have to move on. So I'm going to dismiss you for now. You are dismissed.
Your Honor.
Yes.
I have a question. So, moving forward in regards to child support payment, I'm getting I'm ordered $651 a month for both kids.
Yes.
He's been on child support for now going into September or this year, I believe 3 years now. And right now, with the way the economy is, I'm struggling to keep afloat of my own bills, of paying my rent.
I I understand, Ms.
fully.
Vega, and unfortunately, I did dismiss both of you, so both of you have left. So I really can't move forward with testimony. But what I'm going to tell you is that I understand. I am not trying to change your child support to $100 a month. I'm trying to make a point that I'm trying to make a point that, you know, this is not acceptable and you're going to have to pay something. And I'm hoping that he will understand and at least make a payment, and then I will reset you. If I don't see anything, then I'm going to go ahead and take out, you know, have you already signed your arrest order at the beginning when you filed?
I have not. I don't, to be honest, I really don't know what that is. I've noticed from child support issued out an arrest warrant for him due to non-payment. So I don't know what child support is doing. I'm not really sure. I'm not really being kept in the loop. So I honestly don't know. I really have to take off of work just to go up there.
Okay, so Miss Ford, do we have a signed warrant in this case?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay, so we already have it on file. So, you know, I'm just waiting for him to make his payment. If he does make a payment, I'm going to forewarn you, I am going to reset it. But if there's no payment, he's just going to
get
arrested because, you know, I understand and we're not getting anywhere. You know, we've wasted about 30 minutes on this and we're not getting anywhere.
I've had conversations with him. I've told him, if you're willing to work a job, I'm willing to help you, but you have to contribute some way, somehow.
Right.
I can't keep working full time, paying for everything, and you only see them for maybe a day or 2 days or maybe a couple of hours. Like, you know, the only reason why I let my kids go over there on the weekends is because I keep them Monday through Friday. I'm taking them to school, I'm picking them up, I'm putting them to bed.
I have heard everything I need to hear, and I understand. I know he's not taking care of him 50% of the time, and I mean, I get it. Okay, so I'm
like, you live with your parents and they're not asking you for no mortgage, no payments of gas, water, utilities. I'm like, how are you living? Like,
I'm sorry, Miss Vega. This is the court. For the record, Judge, did you say you're resetting this case? I'm sorry.
I am not resetting it right now. I'm going to wait until next week. I'm going to see if he's made even that minimal payment that I asked for. And if he has not, then we're just going to go ahead and do the arrest order.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Now, if he does, then I will do a reset. But right now, you know, I'm putting this one under advisement.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Okay.
And I picked up another job during the summer. Like, I work for the school. I don't work during the summer because I'm a 10-month employee, but I picked up another job just to make more income because the income alone isn't working.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so Miss Vega, you are dismissed. I do hear you. And if we need to just do the arrest warrant, then that's what we'll have to do. Okay?
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too. Okay.
Judge, I'm not aware of any warrant that child support has out. We don't have any open case.
Yeah, we have everybody sign the arrest warrants through our court now. So so that we don't have to have these.
Yeah, she seems to think that child support has a warrant out for him, but well,
I don't know anything about that, but yeah. Okay.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Shakir, Miss Jordan, if you could both raise your right hands, please. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
I do.
Okay. So first of all, it looks like payments were regular for a while back in 2023.
Your Honor, a recent payment was made on 3/28 of $430, but it was involved.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Posey, what is going on with your employment?
Mr. Posey, Mr. Shakir.
I'm sorry, I am doing it again. Mr. Shakir, what is going on with your employment? Oh, can you speak into the microphone? I'm having trouble hearing you.
As of now, I'm unemployed. I work time to time at different like temp places when it's available.
So what kind of work are you looking for?
I mean, I'm currently building my own company as of now, but I'm not receiving any income from it at this moment. But every now and then when I need to get some money, I'll go. So I work like through an app sometimes that have like temporary work for like a day or two.
Okay, so do you understand that you have a child to support? It really doesn't mix to try to do your own thing and only do the types of work that you choose to do when you've got a child that needs support. Can you do jobs that will provide you, you're only going to need about $300 and then pursue your own dream on your own time, but because this child is needing support every month.
Yeah, I understand that. I was recently released from prison after a 12-year sentence, and during that time, Lauren was providing for the child. Now she's in another relationship with a man that lives with her, which that's irrelevant to my situation. But this whole child support thing came out of nowhere. I didn't even realize that I was on child support until I was working in the middle of 2023 and was having out of nowhere some of my paychecks garnished. And that's when I realized that she was in need of support. I thought that Lauren and her man were taking care of the child.
Well, you have a legal obligation to take care of your child. That child is not his responsibility. That child is always going to be your responsibility. So you need to always plan on paying child support for your child.
Understood.
Okay. So is there, is there a way that you can employ yourself enough to, this is the summertime, there's landscaping, there's all types of extra chores that $300 is very, it's doable. It's not a high amount of child support that you're not able to do just with a little bit of your time. Can you make it, your mission to get that $300 a month so that it can pay for your obligation to your child?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to do a reset. Yours will also be May the 3rd, so that I can see where you are and how you're doing with paying for that support. But we're going to have to keep meeting here until you understand that this is going to have to be consistent. Every month, that child is going to need that money in order to, meet the obligations and needs. Okay?
All right.
Okay, then good luck to you, and I will see you again on May the 3rd.
Okay.
Okay. Are you doing okay, Miss Jordan?
No, but I'm alive. It's just frustrating. But you said everything that I would have said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay, well, I'm hoping we can get things back on track, and hopefully you can have that income to help with the child. Okay, I'll see you on May the 3rd.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge Scott.
Okay, and then I don't think we got an answer from Mr. Shakir, but we'll go ahead and deal with Miss Jordan. Okay, Ms. Jordan, I don't know whether you have heard from Mr. Shakir, but if you could turn on your camera. Okay, there we go. Raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. Have you heard anything from Mr. Shakir?
No, we don't communicate at all.
Okay. And Ms. Carson, have we received any monies after March 28th?
No, nothing after that date.
And do we have any reason to believe that there is any problem with the mail? Ms. Jordan, is the address that that you provided, is that the best known address that you're aware of?
100%, because I double checked.
Okay.
And Judge, no return mail from Mr. Shakir.
Okay. Okay, so do we already have her signed warrant information?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're not able to have him participate because he's not here, Ms. Jordan, so we're just gonna go.
Excuse me, Judge, he just came in as you spoke his name.
Okay.
I'm letting him in now.
Okay, he got really close.
Wow. What time is it?
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Shakir and Ms. Jordan, can you both raise your right hands? Right hand. The other hand. Okay. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to present is the truth and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Mr. Shakir, you need to turn off the mute because I have to audibly hear you. Okay, so do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay, so Mr. Jordan, we did receive a payment from you in March, but we didn't receive anything in April, and now we're in May. What's going on with your child support?
In March, that was involuntary, just to put that out there.
Okay. So, Mr. Shakir, your child support payments, what's going on?
Well, I mean, I don't want to knick-knack and go back and forth. It wasn't involuntary. I filed for my taxes knowing that the child support would.
Okay, you know what? We're already beyond that issue because that only took care of March. So what are we doing for April?
I mean, last time we talked last month, you had gave me some time to try to find some employment. I just started the job, but I haven't gotten paid yet. I got like $150 like to my name that I could send if need be.
Yes, we definitely need that. And then can you provide your work information in the chat so that Ms. Carson can go ahead and do an income deduction order?
Well, I mean, I haven't even officially started it yet. I don't even know if
He's a compulsive liar.
Okay, okay. We're going to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. But Mr. Jordan, you just said that you just started a job.
I'm saying like I'm hoping to start it, but I haven't officially started it yet. I'm supposed to be going to the orientations and things like that like next week, but I don't know if I'll even get it because I got a lot of felonies and stuff on my background. So if that clears, then I might get the job, but I'm not really counting on it.
You're not counting on it? Okay, well, this is how we're going to handle this then. I'm going to put you right back on my calendar for June the 21st. So you got even a little bit more time. If you don't get that job, you need to make sure that you get a job by the time you come back here, because or else we're going to have to do that arrest order. We almost got it done.
Can I say something?
Yes.
He hasn't paid since October of last year. So obviously he just don't want to pay.
I understand. But
So
he's
I
also,
need,
he's going to send you $150 today. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that we do the best we can for your child. And we want to make sure that we give him the opportunity to pay that $150 today, as well as secure this job. But if neither of those happen on 6/21, we will go ahead and issue that warrant. Okay? And I'm
so
sorry.
how much does he have to pay total?
Well, his child support amount is $264.
So for April and then for May and then June, by the time I see you again?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dismiss you today, and you know what you need to do, Mr. Shakir?
No, I'm saying, I don't even know how to send the money. Like, this whole child support thing popped up out of, I don't know. I never went to any court proceedings. I never got any notifications. Only thing I know, I had a job back in last summer, and my payments were being garnished, and I didn't even go to court or anything. I don't even know who to contact to pay anything if I
Okay,
did.
so you know, the reason that you don't know information is like today you came in very late for your hearing. I went through an entire script of telling you what you should and shouldn't do and how child support works. But you know, you've got to take some responsibility, because if you're not going to seek out the information, you can go to the child support website at any point in time and find out where to pay child support. You can get all the information that you need by calling and finding out about your case. You just have to give your name and your information, and child support will they'd be more than happy to educate you on how to make your payments, all of the information that you're asking for. So you need to, you know, start making an effort. But what you need to do is make that $150 payment. I'll be expecting that you're going to call up and find out who that payment needs to go to and what the address is, or if you want to use a kiosk, you can, and just, you know, use a debit card. We've got all of that available to you. Okay?
And I need to go where? Like, I need what website is it?
What I want you to do is call Miss Ford, you know, or you can chat with her right now in the chat room, and then you'll be able to get all of that information. Okay?
Miss Ford.
Yes, she's our court clerk right here. And you can do you know how to do a chat?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm in a chat now. Do I just say,
You
hey,
can
Ford, what's your number?
you can ask Ms. Ford any question relating to how you can make that child support payment.
All right.
Okay?
Judge, I just sent him a chat. So did you get that, Mr. Shakir?
It says call the child support office. Like, I'm in a whole nother state. Like, I don't know nothing about y'all child support system. Like, you saying call the child support office, like I'm just gonna go into my contacts and hit child support office. Like, is there like what's the office for the website? Like human resources or something? Like, I don't know. Georgia Department of Child Services.
Miss Carson, can you provide him a number for child support?
Yeah, I'm just looking right now to see if I can find send to him.
Okay.
Judge, if you're speaking to us, you're on mute.
Okay. I'll be expecting you to be present on June the 21st, and I will be looking to see if that $150 is paid today, as well as your child support, the remaining amount, and then the child support for May and for June of $264. Okay?
All right.
Okay. You are dismissed.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.